This is a very popular movie on Netflix. The film has grossed nearly $1 billion. That's enough to see how good this movie is. And that's the Korean hit SQ game. Today, I'm going to summarize the entire content of the film. This movie, about a guy named Ji-hoon. I had a wife and a daughter. But because of the nature of play, the couple divorced. The daughter is raised by the wife. Ji-hoon is still living with his elderly mother. Today is also my daughter's birthday. But I don't have the money to buy presents for my daughter. You have to raise your hand and ask for money. Your mother gave you too little money. That's when she left the house. I tried to steal my mother's card, then withdraw all the money in the card, but AI suspects that the playful nature is emerging now. Instead of using that money to go buy a birthday present for my daughter, then you take the money to bet on horse racing. I can't believe I'm lucky to smile at you this time. You've actually won a lot of money. But I'm not happy yet. For a long time, the gangsters came to collect debts. He was so scared that he had to run away in a hurry. But running back via touch with a girl. As a result, he was captured by the gangsters. You know that if you don't pay these people back, they will surely be killed by them. That is, put your hand in your pocket to collect your winnings. I don't think there's any money in my pocket right now. Now I realize when VA touched the Kia girl, and she's the pickpocket. I see you have no money. The gangsters forced you to sign a deal. Within 10 days, you didn't pay off 100 million debts. Your body will belong to them. There's no other way. You just signed the agreement. Lose all the money, Ji-hoon. I have no money to buy a birthday present for my daughter. Results that night. We need to go out to eat. Can only eat fried chicken thighs off the sidewalk. A birthday present for my daughter. It's a gun-shaped lighter. I can see that this gift is not suitable for her, but it's also the best. You can give it to your daughter. This also makes me very nervous. On the seat at the GA train, you sit like a lost soul. At this moment a man appeared. He said he knew about Ji-hoon's situation. I want to invite you to a game. If the AI wins, it will get 100,000 won. You lose without money. You'll have to let the winner take a hit. So, we're both playing a paper smashing game, but no matter how hard Ji-hoon tried, he couldn't win. The result is that you have to constantly suffer slaps from the enemy. Makes your face puffy quickly. In game 101. You can finally win. Without hesitation, you're going to slap your opponent in the face to vent your anger, but the enemy prevented it. Give me the money as promised. That makes you happy is like winning the lottery. But not yet. Then the Kia man. He even gave Ji-hoon a business card. They say if you want to make more money, then you can contact me. He has the largest amount of money in his hand. We have to eat a meal to celebrate. On the way home, I bought a lot of good food. Then go home with the old mother. I didn't forget to give her some money. See the mother's money. It's not fun. That you make money from gambling. My mother also gave me some news. Ji-hoon's daughter in a month. I will follow my mother abroad. If you don't want to leave me, make enough money to reclaim custody. But the money you owe hasn't been paid yet. Where do you get the money to do that? It was because of this that night. Ji-hoon can't sleep. Turn on the phone to see a picture of your daughter. He is a 7-year-old man. But I still love my daughter very much. Right now, I remembered the stranger's card. Do not hesitate to contact him immediately. Very quickly after that, a car has stopped at your door. As soon as you get in the car, a puff of smoke made him faint. When I woke up, I found myself in a strange place. There's hundreds of people here wearing the same uniform. On the chest, everyone is numbered. At this point Ji-hoon also approached an old man. He's number 1. He's also the oldest person in this room. Then the door to the room was opened. They walked in wearing tight-fitting uniforms. From head to toe, the leader said that everyone will have to participate in 6 games. Who is the ultimate winner will receive the amount of 45.6 billion won. This money will change one of them. By the people who were brought here, AI also fell into debt times. And win. This game is their chance to rebuild their lives. Then all the players sign a pledge. The first thing, players are not allowed to stop the game. Monday, if the AI refuses to participate in the game. Tuesday after each round, just over half of the voters stop playing. Then the game will end. After everyone signs the pledge, they're led to where they're going to play their first game. This game has very simple rules. When there's a signal, people will move forward. If the doll at the finish line comes back, people have to stop and not move. In 5 minutes, anyone who does not reach the destination will be eliminated. It sounds simple. So AI despises it. There is a signal at this time. People start to rush forward. But when the doll comes back, the leader still sends the copper right away. Immediately a gunshot went off. The guy just fell to the ground. Now everyone knows that being eliminated means dying. Too scared. People are running towards the exit. But that door was closed. The gunfire is still ringing. That all the AIs that tried to flee lost their lives. There were hundreds of people out of the game very quickly. The rest of us are full of fear. who suspects among them. Only old man number 1 remained calm. He calmly continued the game. It's like nothing happened. You see, others also get their spirit back and move forward. The game is now over 2 minutes. If the player does not reach the finish line, they will be eliminated, so people have to move fast. However, the speed of the doll's return has also increased. That's why a lot of people are excluded. But there have also been a lot of successful people on the finish line. Ji-hoon in the last seconds. Lucky to win this game. Those who did not reach the finish line were immediately eliminated. There were 456 players. After the first round, only 201 people survived. And do you believe? No. This is just the opening game. How terrible are the next games? It scares a lot of people to give up. The organizer also announced the prize money. After round 1 with 1 eliminated, the prize fund will be 100 million. So, with 255 people out, the prize money is now 25.5 billion. And with this money, it almost erased all the fears in people's minds. Soon the players also find and team up. They hope they can help each other to get through the next games. But in the second game, it has nothing to do with the group. In this game, each person chooses a picture. There's a total of 4 circles. The last South Star shape is the umbrella shape. At first, no one knew what those pictures meant, so many players choose randomly alone, in which Ji-hoon chooses the umbrella. Right after that, the player is given a box with the selected image. When opening, Ji-hoon was surprised, because there's a piece of candy in there, with a needle, and this is a sugar candy splitting game. The shape of the umbrella is also the most difficult to separate. The rules are very simple within the specified time. You just need to split the candy and win. Aya breaks the candy, or it's not done yet. The game will be eliminated. In the process, a lot of people have easily ripped a piece of candy, but a lot of people accidentally break candy. As a result, they were killed immediately. When every shot goes off, the more the players panic, and they have to do whatever it takes to get through this game. For example, there's a girl. I don't know where to find a lighter. She used it to heat the kim tree. Makes it easier to separate the candy. He also successfully overcame the challenge. But Ji-hoon here is not so lucky. I'm still struggling to separate my umbrella-shaped candy. However, there is not much time left now. Keep this momentum. I will not be in time to finish the game. At this moment, a drop of sweat came down from his face. When you meet water, the candy melts. To see that, he hastily held the piece of candy to his mouth to lick. I can't believe this is so effective. I can see that the players nearby also imitating Theo. Finally, Ji-hoon also successfully passed this game, but there are also a lot of losers. That means they will be eliminated. See, no uniform. A man jumped up, successfully controlling a person wearing a strange face. But people don't care about their teammates, but directly back for life. The players are eliminated. To Spicy, Uncle Kia made the soldier take off his mask. Who suspected? Behind the mask is a very young man, and the man couldn't get his hands on that guy. I finally ended it all on my own. But soon after, the game manager also goes too. For showing his face, the soldier was also eliminated. End of the second game. 87 more players were eliminated. The prize money has now reached 34.8 billion. But now in the group of players something happened. A group led by the gangster giant CA is causing trouble. They take other people's food. You have no food to eat. When those people come to question you, then the great CA does not relent. Take that person's life. Right now, bonus amount increased to 100 million. That means during the break, players can destroy themselves. The organizers don't care about each other. They're just sending people to clean up the scene. It was this that sparked a massacre. That night when the electricity in the room went out, immediately everyone in the room became chaotic. Everybody's in a fight. And in this fight, so many people have unfortunately died. The number of players has dropped significantly. New organizers let people into the room, both to stop the brawl and to clean up the scene. In one night, 27 people were eliminated, and the amount added to the prize money is 2.7 billion. Now there are only 80 people left who will continue the game. The next morning everyone entered the third game. The game requires players to form a group of 10. Heard that the gangster CA was wrong to gather the healthy men to form a team. Meanwhile, Ji-hoon's team only gathers women, even the weak-old. Looking at the whole, surely Ji-hoon's team is the weakest compared to the 8 teams, and that's a big disadvantage, because in this third game, it's a tug of war. The 8 teams will be divided into 4 pairs. The team that loses will be eliminated immediately. In the first round was the gangster's team, because his team is just big guys. It was easy to win without losing a sweat. As soon as the rope is pulled to its destination, a giant knife came down and broke the rope. Everyone on the losing team, he fell off the ring and lost his life. Seeing this makes people terrified. The second round is Ji-hoon's team. Your team's opponent is a team of 10 men. Power, I can say no less than the gangster's team. At first glance, they're only about 10% winning. The AI in Ji-hoon's team also felt desperate. At this moment, the old man on the team spoke up. He said that, when he was young, I'm a tug-of-war athlete myself. So this game is not just about power, it also requires intelligence. So people listen to him. They win anyway. In this country, everyone agrees. According to the old man's arrangement, the leader must be the strongest. The last person must be very strong. So Ji-hoon was put in charge. The Indian guy was ranked last. The old man also lined up the other members. Rope, they're forced to clamp on their armpits to increase friction. The most important thing is to pull. Everyone has to turn back at the same time, after a 45-degree angle. Of course, when you apply all of that, their team had a slight advantage. But very quickly, the enemy has unleashed power, and pulled the rope back towards them. At this rate, sooner or later, Ji-hoon's team loses. Right now a guy thinks of a way. The whole team will loosen the rope. Let the opponent miss the beat, and they'll take the chance to win, as soon as the team loosened the rope. Of course, the opponent has fallen. The whole Ji-hoon team immediately pulled the rope. And when Ji-hoon's team returned to work, the gangster couldn't believe his eyes. It's impossible to have a team of weak people. You can win again. After the third game, organizing committee. Send people to clean up. If they're lucky to be alive, they'll be tagged. And then we're going to have surgery to get the organs. In the playroom, Ji-hoon and his team won. But it's not fun, because that means they've directly killed others. There will be a fight like the night before. Their lives are like a light in the wind. And to limit casualties to people in the group, Ji-hoon has rearranged the bed. They made protective barriers that night. When the lights in the room went out, Ji-hoon couldn't sleep, because you're still obsessed with what happened the night before. Old man number 1 can't sleep right now. The two then talked together. Ji-hoon said that he himself had a very good job before, but his company went bankrupt and owed employees money to get workers to go on strike for their rights. But this strike was rioting. The results you saw with your own eyes. My best friend had to die. In the end, workers like you are still 7 failures and suffer white hands. Since then I've fallen into debt and fall into the same situation now. Meanwhile, the masked soldiers are in a closed room. They took a player who was a doctor to deal with the bodies. The parts are operated on. Take it out of your body and sell it on the black market. Change the doctor's name to do this. It will be revealed before the next game. But these people don't know that. In their group there's an insider. He's the police outside. Have snuck in here to investigate this game. The police officer then pretended to ask, where will these parts go? Who suspected that question made you suspicious? But right now, the doctor told everyone to focus and get the job done quickly to avoid being discovered, so the Kia are reluctant to ignore, without questioning the police officer. Not long after the surgery was completed, the doctor then asked what tomorrow's game was. The masked man said, information they have not been provided. I don't know what the next game is. The doctor got mad when he heard that. I thought I was fooled by these people. So, the two got into a fight. But with the scalpel in my hand, the doctor easily solved it. The soldier then turned and ran out of the room. There was another soldier chasing him, until the room was played the second game. The doctor was out of his way. The soldier also persuaded him to lay down his weapon, and continue to work together, and at the same time, the stranger's face, and promise not to mess with the doctor. There are rules in the game. Soldiers are not allowed to show their faces. Anyone who reveals it will have to die here. But very soon the man in black came. Kill the soldier with the doctor. On the other hand, the police are in chaos. He managed to sneak into the command room. In this room, there are many documents related to this game. It's been around for years, but no one knows about its existence. And today, I want to find out who's behind this evil game. The police officer then flipped through each file to search, but there's only a list of players inside. But then I made a big discovery. A warrior, I won this game years ago. He's your brother again. But the question is, where is that brother? The police are more determined. We have to investigate this. At the same time, the players are awakened. Organizing committee announces there was a stranger breaking into the base, so they have to find that person quickly. But there's no suspicious AI in this room. When watching the camera, they discovered that another soldier had died. This made the commander even more angry. By tomorrow, there's going to be big guys coming over to see the game. So he had to find the intruder quickly. That's how he decided. Let everyone join the fourth game earlier. On the way to the exam, you see there are 4 soldiers. The same doctor was hanged. The organizer also said, this is punishment for the lawless. When you see this, everyone's faces are blank. After days of playing the game, there's nothing scary about this. Soon after, the organizers announced the 4th game will take place in pairs. Let's make a team of 2. To join the game, receive notification. People also split up to form a team. Learn from the experience last time. AI also wants to find healthy people to team up with. That makes girls weak. There's only one way to pair up. Before that, there were 40 players. But before that, the doctor had broken the law and been disqualified. There are only 39 people left. It will definitely be one person, and that person can be eliminated after the pairing is complete. Of course, there was a woman who couldn't find a partner. She was immediately dragged away by 2 soldiers and removed from the game. Soon after, everyone was taken to the venue. It's beautifully decorated, and the theme of this game is memory and nostalgia. Then each person is given 10 marbles by the organizers. At first Ji-hun thought that each team will compete to collect balls from the other teams. Make you happy? I am determined to win this game with the old man. But AI suspected that the organizers then announced the rules of the game. To win the game, they had to collect 10 of their teammates' marbles. I don't know how, but absolutely no use of force. Hearing that, Ji-hun was completely stunned. How could you do that to an old man? On the other side, people started playing. The Indian team is playing the odd guess game. Whoever wins gets the opponent's ball. The other side, the big gangster CA plays the same game. He lost so much that he only had 1. If he plays again, he can lose nothing. So, this guy ran to the bridge and asked the guard to change his game. However, that soldier doesn't care about him. There were also shots fired at this time. That means someone has lost a lot of money. The 2 girls are still talking. They tell each other all about themselves. Straight-haired girl asked curly-haired girl, "What would you do if you won the game?" The curly-haired girl said, she still has an old mother and a younger brother. "I hope with the money won, you will make their lives better. And then you to play the game." They decided to test. Watch the AI throw the marble closer to the wall. Curly-haired girl threw first, then straight-haired girl. But surprise, the girl directly dropped the marble at her feet. That means you accept, give up and give all the money to the enemy. When asked why they did that, straight-haired girl knew reply. When 2 people talk, you've been thinking a lot about what you're going to do when you get out of here. But you couldn't find the answer. And you know that? There's no one out there to welcome you. But the curly girl is different. She still has her mother and brother waiting at home. It's a waste to die here. That's why you decided. Give way to the curly girl. Hear those words. It hurts the curly girl. Because in this situation, I can't believe someone still cares about you like that. Then she took the balls and left. Behind the back immediately, there was a gunshot and the straight-haired girl was eliminated. Ji-hun is in trouble. When the old man suddenly became ill again, I thought this was my small village. So he went everywhere to find his old house. Make Ji-hun chase to wake up. He woke up. Good luck after a lot of trying. Then you're back to normal. To newcomers, sit down and play a game of parody together. Who suspected? He is a master in this game. Ji-hun quickly lost. There's only 1 marble left. Right now, Ji-hun's mood is like falling to 18 levels of hell. But right now the old man was sick. You don't seem to remember anything, but gave all his balls to Cho Ji-hun. See that, but you didn't say anything and you took all the balls. And the old man had only 1 marble left in his hand. Now the disease is getting worse. The old man stood up and began to wander. Ji-hun is running out of time. I prayed to the old man to wake up. Of course he woke up. He told you to play a game. Decide who wins. We'll get all the marbles of the enemy. But hearing that, Ji-hun thinks it's not fair, because the old man had only 1 marble, and you have 19. The old man said now, so you take advantage of his unconsciousness to take away. Is it fair? Ji-hun is completely silent. I didn't expect. The old man had only pretended to be sick to test you. That's it. And Ji-hun doesn't know how to explain it. Then suddenly, the old man stuck his last marble into Ji-hun's hands. He said that after days of contact, you know you're a good man. You are also old and not moving forward. So he's willing to sacrifice himself for Ji-hun to survive. That made Ji-hun very sorry for cheating on the old man, but you still have to keep going. Then you just take the pellets and leave. There was also a gunshot in the back, so the old man was eliminated. When everyone returned to the room, suddenly, the girl who was dragged away is still alive. Turns out, if that AI is odd, it can directly pass the round. Meanwhile, Ji-hun is still sitting at the 7 god spot. After the death of the old man, I am very sorry. However, among the survivors, there is someone who suffers more than you. When this man had to get rid of his own wife, and that means he'll have to live forever, for the rest of my life. The same evening, there's been a lot of masked gentlemen coming to this place. They're the big punters who see AI as the winner. Win the game. Come here today to watch the game live. Let's add the fun part. Soon the player also enters the 2nd game. In the 5th game, everyone is led to a room. There are 116 numbers inside. The committee asked each person to choose a number. Most people choose, but some are in the middle. It's too risky to choose the first or last number. These numbers can be the order when joining. Where you go or where you end up is dangerous. In the end, there were only two, Ji-hun and a man who has not yet chosen. Now the man suddenly spoke up. Tell me your life is behind others. This time I want to be the leader. Through which he chose number 1, so Ji-hun chose number 16. And the 6th game is called Glass Bridge. People will have to cross a bridge. Within 16 minutes, there are 18 glasses. There are 2 types of glass on each level, is tempered glass and ordinary glass. The wrong glass is often sent straight to hell. If so, the first ones are the white rats. That's what scares the number 1 man. Dare not to step up, just like this, he'll pull everyone out. Not feel good. The new gangster stepped up to threaten. He said if you don't even start, he'll push you number 1 down. Make him risk his life jumping to the left. Fortunately, he walked right, but by the 2nd step, there's no luck. The glass broke, and he fell straight down. And then, the next ones just keep moving forward, and then they turn into trackers. Soon 4 people were eliminated. To see this scene, the masked men in the room were so excited that one of them, I saw the eyes of a very beautiful guard, so I dragged that guy into his room. Who'd have thought the guy who picked them was the cop? He ended up being controlled by him. Let's find out what he knows about this game. After obtaining the information, you take him to see the king. Outside, there are only 5 minutes until the game is over. Now you're halfway across the bridge. But the leader refused to move on. He's the evil gangster. This guy doesn't want to be a rat. If so, you're all out. Who would have expected the woman to step up now? You said you didn't like this guy for a long time. You know you can't survive. Get out of here. So I decided to give everyone a hand, and the woman just hugged the gangster. Jump forward. As a result, they both went straight to hell. There are only 4 people left in the game. Man number 13 is a professional glassmaker. So, you can tell what's normal. Where is tempered glass through color? Just like that, he's leading people and starting to move forward. But when you know this, the guests in the room were not happy. They ordered the operator to turn off the power. Everything went dark. The 13-year-old can't see anything. There's only 1 step left, but time is running out. So man number 14 pushed down number 13. They know where the safe is. He also finished first, and in turn followed by the girl and Ji-hun. When the time is up, the bridge will blow up. Make pieces of glass fly everywhere. A piece of glass made you, curly blonde injured. Over here, the manager also found a dead guest. He knows this is the wrong person at all costs. We have to catch the intruder. But right now, the police officer stole an air tank. It's out of the island. 3 players finally returned to the room. Ji-hun questioned the Kia man at how to do that, but he just said, I saved your life anyway. That made Ji-hun very angry. Not long after, 3 people were brought to a room, and they were rewarded with a hearty meal. While the 2 men ate very well, the girl couldn't eat much. After eating, tidying up organizing committee, but he deliberately left a knife for each of us. That means they're going to have to fight tonight. On the outside, the police officer also swam to another island. I'm on the phone sending data back to headquarters. But there's no waves here at all. Was that? The men led by the commander were also chased, and then the policeman was cornered on the cliff. If you can't escape, you pull a gun to defend yourself. But the commander was not afraid. He calculated, it's in the police officer's gun. There's only 1 bullet left. At this point, the commander persuaded the policeman, drop the gun and surrender. But the police officer didn't accept the request. At this moment, the commander removed the strange face. Who suspects that person? He was the police officer's brother. After winning the game years ago, he became the organizer of the game. How long has he been missing? 4 years. However, this commander has lost his humanity. I can't convince you. He immediately fired, made the policeman fall straight into the abyss. The other 3 players are still on alert. They do not dare to sleep for fear that the enemy will attack them. But then the turning point came. Ji-hun goes directly to the curly-haired girl to suggest the people to cooperate, to beat the Kia man in the last game. Then we split the prize money and we're out of here. Ji-hun is also confiding if he gets the prize money, I'll use it to take care of my mom. But the curly-haired girl made an offer. If one of you to get out, you have to worry about the family, and Ji-hun agreed to that. Right now, I suddenly discovered that the man was sleeping. I'm going to take this opportunity to get rid of him. But as he was walking, the girl stopped him. You said you're not that kind of person. And this time Ji-hun also discovered Ra. The girl is seriously injured. Your body is getting weaker. Afraid something will happen to the girl. So I ran out the door to the guards. A moment later a group of soldiers came in. But they didn't have to come in to save the girl, but went into the room to clean up the scene. Turns out Ji-hun wasn't here. The man who killed the girl. I see the girl is no more. It made Ji-hun very angry. You go plunge into the man Kia revenge for the girl. but that action was stopped by the soldiers. Because they want your anger. It must be revealed in the last game. The next day, the game finally started. There are only two now. Is Ji-hoon with the 218 man? Two people tossed coins. Choose the offensive or defensive side. Ji-hoon won and he chose the attacking side. Then the two of you were led to an open field, and the last game is called Squid Game. This is a folk game that everyone knows. But now, you've got to play this game to make a decision. The rules of this game are very simple. The defender wins when he stops the attacker. The attacker wants to win. You have to get past the defender and stand on the squid's head. The game is very quickly started. Ji-hoon holds a handful of sand and throws it at his opponent's face. It's suddenly raining now. It adds drama to the game. You two are still fighting very hard. No one gives up. Ji-hoon wants to win, to avenge the innocent. And the Kia man wants to have a huge amount of money. I don't know how long time has passed. Maybe you'd have fought for half a day. Ji-hoon finally got the upper hand. You control the enemy to the ground, and keep throwing these fists. But then finally, I will forgive the man. I want to give this man a chance. Let the two of you come back together, because the rules of the game have rules. If half of the players agree to stop, the game will end. So, you agreed to stop the game. That surprised the guests in the room. Because they don't think Ji-hoon could throw away such a large amount of money. But the Kia man said that, I don't expect Ji-hoon to forgive me. I just hope Ji-hoon will take care of his elderly mother at home. The man immediately held the knife next to him. End the game. Ji-hoon couldn't react. Just look at the enemy losing his life. You are so miserable. Because in this game, I've seen too many painful scenes. The game is finally over. Ji-hoon was blindfolded and driven home in his car. I was thrown down a busy road. Next to it is a bank card. Then go to the bank and withdraw 10,000 won. And the remaining account balance is 45.5 billion. But when he returned, the old mother died. I'm so sad. Lay down and hug the mother very quickly. It's been a year. Right now, Ji-hoon is still not free from the obsession of the game. One time I sat by the river drinking. An old lady came over and gave me a business card. Who suspected? The card belongs to the owner of the game. Without hesitation, I immediately went to the address on that card. This is a very luxurious house. But the most surprising thing is, the owner of this house is old man number 1. He's still alive. And he's the man behind the evil game. But now he's very weak. So, I want to call Cho Ji-hoon here to talk. He also later revealed the reason for creating the game. He said he actually had too much money. That made him lose his joy in life. So, he created the Kia game to have fun. With you, the poor have nothing and the rich are very similar. They are all people. There's no fun in this world anymore. And everything you do, just to satisfy your own pleasure. When he finished, he took his last breath. After leaving the house, Ji-hoon got a haircut after more than a year. I even dyed my hair red very prominently. Then I picked up the hair girl's brother, Curly, to send to the mother of man 218. You left them a glass of money, so they can live the rest of their lives, and you're on your way to carry out your plan. That's the evil game Kia movie. It's over here. If you see or give me a like, and a channel subscription,